Did you know that regular school attendance as early as kindergarten is an indication of high school graduation and future success? Or that missing just a day or two of school each month can set a student back? The month of September is National Attendance Awareness Month, and the Juvenile Welfare Board has partnered with Pinellas County Schools to raise awareness about the importance of attending school every day. Here to talk about these efforts is Tari Connell, Managing Officer of School Social Work for Pinellas County Schools. Welcome, Tari.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Let's start off by talking about the basic requirements. What are the local laws and policies related to school attendance?
Okay. The law states that every child who turns the age of 6 by February 1st of any school year must attend school. And you need to be in school until you are 18 and can graduate. At the age of 16, you can withdraw with parents' consent, but we work very hard to discourage that.
Wow, that's interesting. So 16 and you can say, hey, you know, I've learned enough, and with parents' consent.
Absolutely.
How often does that happen?
It happens more than we would like to see, and it's really not that they've learned enough. It's just that they just are discouraged from attending school, and so that they just choose to drop out or work towards a GED or some other alternative.
I see. I understand the schools have several efforts in place to increase attendance, including a program to track attendance. Tell us more about that.
Well, one of the main things we did a couple years ago is every school website now has an icon on their website. And so if a student is not coming to school, often parents don't call us, don't tell us, we don't know what's going on. So we established this so that the parents can get on the link on the website, and they can just send an email and telling us why their child is absent. If they have a note, we encourage attach that note, and then it goes directly to somebody at the school so that we know why the child is out. We also started last year and are moving forward with it this year of changing our attendance codes. We used to just mark absent or present, excused or unexcused. This year we have several different codes. So instead of just a student being out, we want to know why. Is it because they're sick? Is it because they're homeless? Is there a transportation issue? Multiple different codes that we have, so that this way a school can then look at the trends for their school to try to identify what the reasons are and come up with ways to stop that and help students get back into school.
That's great. That's just going the extra mile.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
awesome. Starting last year, JWB partnered with the school system and others to launch an awareness campaign called Every Day Counts. And tell us more about that campaign.
Well, we geared it towards Every Day Counts, just that. I think sometimes parents aren't aware that it's really important that students are in school every single day, come on time, and stay the entire day. So we develop banners, posters, stickers, all sorts of things that are all over every school campus. We have it on marquees, local agencies, different communities, churches, community centers. They're all putting them everywhere just to raise that awareness that every day is important. We need them in school so that they are learning.
Yeah, absolutely. And what levels of education are
We have it
targeted?
at every level. The banners and everything are for elementary and then also secondary, and we have them in multiple languages. JWB is working right now to actually get the banners in Vietnamese because we have a higher population and some schools asked for it. So I'm really excited about that.
Very good. And as well as city recreation centers?
Absolutely, yes. And so the banners say, attend today, achieve tomorrow, every day counts. And so just that motto, we just want people to understand that we have to be in school every single day. If you're not in school, you can't learn.
Absolutely. There's also an effort to address the youngest members of the student body, the kindergarten students.
Absolutely.
Does missing a few days, even in kindergarten, does that really matter?
It really does. I think that parents today are looking at when they were in kindergarten. I remember when I was, and it was a half a day of school. We took a nap, we had snack, we had recess. We weren't learning as much as they do today. So I think it's really important for parents to understand that day one in kindergarten, their students are learning. And it starts in kindergarten. If you start those habits now, it's going to continue. So coming to school every single day. I think it's, parents don't understand that 1 or 2 days a month, their children at the end of the year are going to have chronic absenteeism. 1 or 2 days will add up to over 10% of school for the school year. And we know that studies show that if you miss 10% or more, the likelihood of success decreases greatly. They're not going to be reading level at 3rd grade. They may not graduate on time. All of those things, it starts in kindergarten.
Wow. Tell us about the Kindergarten Counts initiative itself, now in its 3rd year.
Yes. Juvenile Welfare Board developed a program so that every kindergarten student gets a little packet, including this amazing coloring book called Everyday Counts in Kindergarten. It gives parents the opportunity to read this to their child, color pictures, and it gives them tips on why it's important to attend school every day. Also with that, they get a pledge card that just says they are pledging that they will send their child to school every day. And we have a little magnet for them. On the outside of the magnet, it tells the pledge, and on the inside, it has a school calendar. And it's just a reminder for the parents and the child that every day counts. They need to be in school.
Right, that sounds like it's a great campaign. You get a few items that remind the parent that it's very, very important to get their child in school.
Correct.
You mentioned that the materials feature practical tips for parents to improve their child's attendance. So specifically, what would those tips be?
Some of the main things are a routine. Have a set bedtime and a morning routine. Have that established early. Some things parents can do. Lay their clothes out, the child's clothes out the night before. Have their backpacks ready. Make the lunch the night before. And just following that. Also, coming up with backup plans. If their student is a walker, what if it's raining? What's our backup plan? If their child is sick, make sure they're really sick. If they're not that sick, let's get them in school, because if they're not there, they can't learn. So just tips like that to remind them we need to be in school.
That's great. I know that attendance specialists and social workers and other school personnel play a vital role. What are some other examples of interventions that are working?
One of our biggest initiatives at our district right now is a program called Check and Connect. We started it several years ago, but really in depth about 5 years ago. And it's a mentoring program for students who have a problem with attendance. They meet with a mentor on a weekly basis. The mentor meets with them and looks at their grades, their behavior, their attendance, and kind of tries to work with them on how could they help. In addition to that, there's a parent component. So the mentor is also reaching out to the parent on a monthly basis with successes, or just making contact to say, how can I help? But it's that one person at the school. We always talk about if you have one person that you can go to, that child's success rate will increase. And we have seen that. We also have programs like a teen court, where it's kind of a mentoring program as well. It's a step before truancy court. So there's all sorts of things, and we're encouraging schools this year to really look at those attendance codes, to identify the reasons students aren't missing, and then coming up with interventions for themselves, for their particular school, what may work to help improve attendance at their school level.
Wow, with these programs, it seems like you have a very, very good increase of attendance, and you're seeing some great results.
We have seen a lot of improvement in the past year with the initiative with JWB, and we're really excited about moving forward this year to increase it even more.
That's great. Well, Tari, thank you so much for all the valuable information and for joining us today.
Thank you.
For the latest on the Everyday Counts campaign and other attendance efforts, visit www.pcsb.org or www.jwbpinellas.com.